you be so cheerful?
Beautiful day, beautiful school, beautiful people, beautiful... Who was that?
Student-teacher supervisor.
You mean she's the one that decides whether or not I've got it to be a teacher?
That's right.
Oh, boy. She looks so tough. She probably won't like my style of teaching.
What's your style?
I don't know yet.
Don't worry. She'll be crazy about you, just like the rest of us.
Well, see you later.
You know, Pete's such a great teacher, it's depressing.
Now, why is it depressing?
Because I'm not even worthy of erasing his blackboards.
Don't underestimate yourself. You haven't even begun yet.
I know, and already I'm scared stiff. Especially after seeing that supervisor.
It's normal to be nervous at first.
Liz, what'd you want to be when you were a little girl?
Until the age of 5,
I wanted to be a lady wrestler.
I was very influenced by TV.
You see, I've always wanted to be a teacher. A lot of girls said that, but most of them chickened out.
Chickened out?
Well, you know, they got married or dropped out of ed school. But not me. You know, all this time I've been looking forward to teaching. To being a really great teacher. Now it's here. What if I can't do it?
Has Mary Poppins taken over a class yet?
You mean Alice?
Who else?
Not yet. That comes tomorrow.
Better shape her up pretty fast. The supervisor will be back in a few days to monitor her class.
Well, I've worked it out where she can take over a couple of classes before then. Don't worry. Supervisor will like her. You like her.
I like her. I think she's cute and adorable. Unfortunately, cute and adorable are not exactly the traits one looks for in a school teacher. Pete, let me ask you a question. Do you think she's got it? Let me give you an answer. No.
Alice may surprise you.
That's the kind of thing you say when you can't think of anything else to say.
She's got a lot of desire.
Desire is a highly overestimated trait. Frankly, I've always had a profound desire to be a ski bum. I don't think I'm going to make it.
Well, Alice will make it.
Maybe. But in my opinion, she's going to need two things to succeed. One is a lot of help from you.
And what's the other?
Divine intervention.
I don't think I should teach today.
Why not?
Because my horoscope said I should avoid taking over any new responsibilities.
Do you have a lesson plan?
What if I freeze up?
Oh, they'll thaw you out.
What if I bore them?
They'll yawn.
I've got a headache, Pete.
Well, that's an occupational hazard. You'll be fine.
Well, yesterday, Mr. Dixon and you were discussing the Indian Wars. Now, in 1876, war broke out again. And the most famous of the battles took place on June 25th at Little Bighorn, where Custer made his last stand. Of course, you all know who won that one. Oh. Al.
Why did Custer lose?
Why did Custer lose? That's a very good question. There were a lot of reasons. Primarily too many Indians.
I thought he came there to fight the Indians.
Yes, but he didn't expect so many. After the battle, the Sioux had a shortage of food and ammunition.
Miss Johnson,
What is it?
why didn't he expect so many? Didn't they have scouts?
Not very good ones. So the Sioux...
Didn't he know the Indians met there every year?
And didn't Custer split off on some of his troops? Why'd he do that?
Yeah, Miss Johnson, why?
Yeah, Miss Johnson, why did he do that?
He wanted to go around the back, maybe.
Think you were honest with him?
What do you mean?
A story you told him about Custer losing.
Well, they asked me. I had to tell them something.
What's wrong with it? I don't know.
Well, I'm supposed to know. That's why I'm there, isn't it?
Haven't met a teacher yet who knew everything.
What if I didn't give them an answer? Wouldn't they feel I wasn't qualified?
How do you think they feel now? Anyway, nobody knows what really happened to Custer.
You're right. You're absolutely right. I was faking and they didn't believe me.
That's right. There's nothing these kids can spot
quicker than a phony answer.
No wonder they didn't believe me. And you didn't believe me. I didn't believe me either.
Well, now that you understand, don't worry about it.
But how can you let me get off so easily?
It was a natural mistake.
A natural mistake? I've committed an educational crime. I mean, what if they had believed me? They would have gone through the rest of their lives thinking that they knew the real reason Custer lost. I promise I'll never do it again.
You'll do great in class tomorrow. I'm just sorry I won't be there to see you.
Why not? Why won't you be there to see me?
I have a meeting.
You mean you expect me to go in solo?
Right.
But I'm not ready to face them alone yet.
You'll have to do it sooner or later.
How about later?
Believe me, one day you'll look back on all this and laugh.
Smile, maybe. Laugh, never. All right, everybody, let's calm down. That's better. Richie.
Where's Mr. Dixon?
Mr. Dixon won't be here today.
Oh.
Now, as you recall, we were talking about the Dawes. What is it, Frank?
May I have permission to leave the room?
The period just began.
This is an emergency.
Oh, all right. All right, now the Dawes Act was supposed to change the policy toward the Indians for the better. Janet and Debbie. Janet, Debbie, would you please stop talking? Thank you. Yes, Bob.
Could I open a window?
Oh, all right. Now, the Dawes Act broke up.
You better watch your clown.
Please, Bob, I'm trying to teach a class.
Me, it was him. He's nuts. Oh, God.
Wait a minute. Now, where do you two think you're going?
We gotta go to the library and check something out.
What?
The new librarian.
Wait a minute! Now, stop that! Wait a minute! Come back here! Now, listen. Now, come on. Now, we gotta keep this down. Now, stop throwing those papers. Stop it. Now,
Liz. Hello.
Hello.
Liz, will you get me slide number 14, please? I've had a few complaints about our new sex education course. I want to see what all the fuss is about. Don't you have a class this period?
Alice is taking it.
No, boy. Live and learn. You know, it's against the rules for a student teacher to take over a class alone.
You know that's the only way she's gonna learn.
Mm-hmm. One time somebody left a student teacher alone and she completely disappeared. We asked all the students what happened. Nobody would talk.
I don't think that'll happen to Alice.
No, I guess you're right. In her case, the class will probably disappear.
the basic idea was to divide up the land in the reservations. Bernie, was that you?
I'm clean. You want to look? Told you. Oh.
What is it?
I gotta go to the nurse. Don't believe him. He's always getting sick.
Look, can't it wait till the end of the period?
Sure, but you'll always have me on your conscience. Cause of death, Miss Johnson.
Okay, go ahead.
Yeah, the brown is home like good. What time are you going?
Janet and Debbie. All right, now, the basic problem was, Frank, where did you get my keys? May I have them back, please? Jason, please give me my keys back. Please, may I have my keys? Please? Frank, give me my keys back, please. Please? Jason, may I have my keys? May I have them? Thank you. I'll see you all tomorrow. I hope we get a lot more done.
Oh, how'd it go? Alice, what's wrong?
Now, the Summerhill theory is that children basically want to learn.
It's obvious he never taught at Whitman.
That's an interesting theory.
Well, Another meeting of the Student Teachers Association. You kids wouldn't be planning to take over the school, would you?
No, sir.
Too bad. Anytime you want to take over, just ask.
We're having enough trouble just learning how to teach.
No false modesty. I understand you're doing very well. I only wish that when I was starting to teach, I knew as much as you kids do.
Oh, thank you, sir.
Oh, my. This reminds me of when I was a student teacher. Before I'm overcome by a wave of nostalgia, I'll move on.
Wow, you must be doing something right. How'd you do it?
Well, I got a groovy bunch of kids.
Me too.
How are your students, Alice?
They're wonderful.
Boy, you don't know how fortunate you are. My group would have terrified Attila the Hun.
What happened?
Well, they really got out of hand until I showed them who's boss.
How?
First of all, I practiced thinking tough. You're only as tough as you think.
It's the power of negative thinking.
Oh, go ahead and laugh, but the enemy can sense it if you're weak.
The enemy?
Well, let's face it, that's what they are.
What are your tactics, General?
Meet force with force. Threaten to suspend them. Scream, whatever's necessary.
But don't they hate you?
They act like they do. But underneath, they really loved me.
You notice she psychoanalyzed the entire class?
Children are crying for limits. They may object, but they really want them.
These kids are only a few years younger than we are.
Wait until you get in a situation where it's them or you, and see what you do.
Now, when they didn't find gold, they changed the signs to Pike's Peak and Busted. All right, let's hold it down, everybody. I said be quiet! All right. Now, let's get one thing straight. There's not going to be any more messing around in this class. You're looking at the new Miss Johnson. No more Mr. Nice Guy. Did you hear me, Bob?
Yeah.
What?
Yes, sir.
What do you want?
Can I please?
No, you can't. Now,
It was an accident.
one more accident, young man, and you're in big trouble. Now, back to business. Another gold strike was discovered.
I didn't do it.
Get your things together.
It's a frame-up.
Yes.
It wasn't his fault.
You want to be the next to go?
What are you doing in here?
Miss Johnson sentenced me.
Well, she must have had a reason.
Well, it's like that Bogart picture on TV last night. He never killed nobody, but he kept getting blamed.
You didn't kill anybody?
No.
Good.
But I'm innocent! I'm innocent, I tell you! Give me a mouthpiece!
Bob?
I'm sorry.
Hi, Mr. Dixon.
Eyes straight ahead. All right, time's up. Pass your paper to the person in front of you without talking. Good. Now will the people in the front of the row please bring me the papers? All right. We have a little time. Let's talk about one of the most exciting bunch of people in our history, the cowboys. Now, after the Civil War, the cattle drive came into existence. Who can tell me why? They wanted to make more money by selling beef to the people in the East. Now, to accomplish that, they had to do what? They had to drive the cattle to the railroads. And a whole new group of towns became important. Who can tell me what some of those were? Mary Ann. Bob. Richie. You may go. Class dismissed.
May I have permission to speak?
Oh, come on, Pete. Did you see the difference?
Did you?
They really respected me this time.
That depends on your definition of respect.
But they were quiet.
Sure, you made them afraid to speak. What'd you send Bernie out for?
He dropped a book.
Sit down, Alice. You start sending kids to the VP's office for things like dropping books, you're not going to have anyone left to teach.
But the supervisor's coming tomorrow, and I've got to be in control.
This isn't Folsom Prison. If you're teaching right, you'll be in control.
Pete, why are you so mad at me?
Because I care about you becoming a teacher, and you're not going to get there with these easy cop-outs. You want your students to have some respect for you, then you'll have to start having respect for them.
I was having a really tough time until all of a sudden it came to me. Just the perfect solution.
What?
How do I quit?
Alice, you always make me feel like there's a whole mess of stuff I just missed.
Oh, look, I don't have to teach. I mean, there are a whole lot of other things I could do. Like, well, I could be a topless waitress.
Hey, what happened?
Of course, with my luck, I'll probably catch cold on the first day.
Alice, no jokes, okay? Now, what happened to the girl who wanted to be a teacher all her life? Is she chickening out?
Yes. Look, Liz, I'm just no good. I can't deal with people. Maybe I can still get into social work.
What does Pete say about all this?
Well, he said I was treating the kids unfair. But all I wanted to do was to keep those kids quiet.
Well, do you think he was right?
Of course. Pete's always right. Oh, I just don't have it.
Stand up. I'm the class. Teach me.
Oh, Liz, I mean, you can't be serious.
Hey, are you free after fifth period? Well, I was going down to the record shop.
Liz, what are you doing?
You gonna let me get away with this in your class?
Oh.
You are free after fifth period? Too much. Hey, why
Would
don't
you
we
please
split
stop talking?
and go by my house? I bought this new see-through dress.
See, nobody ever listens to me.
Well, why should I? You sound like you don't want to offend me.
Liz, how do you know if you're interested in what I'm saying if you don't listen to me?
Okay. Now you're getting through to me. Keep going.
Okay. We were talking about the westward movement and the origins of cities like Abilene and Laramie and Dodge City. Now, these places were called cow towns. Can you tell me why?
Must have been a lot of cows hanging around there.
Well, yeah, that's true. But why?
Must have been some bulls, too, I guess.
Well, yeah, there were. But that's not the real reason. You see, these towns were at the end of the cattle trails where the cattle were picked up to be sent back east. And they weren't sent back east to go to school either. So get it on, kid.
Get it on?
Well, I just thought I'd throw that in.
That's very good. Even though I was wrong, you taught me, you encouraged me, and you made me laugh. That is a great combination.
Really?
Really. Listen, you're going to make a lot of mistakes. Everybody does. So accept it. Alice, you got a lot of things going for you. You're bright. You care about the kids. Now, don't be afraid to show them, okay?
Okay.
Okay. Now, go home and get some sleep. And tomorrow, you go in there and you do your thing.
Yeah. But Liz, I'm just so afraid I'm going to mess up.
Don't worry. You won't mess up. Just be yourself.
Sedalia, Chisholm, Western, and Goodnight Loving. Now, what do these four names mean? Come somebody must know. Bernie.
I was just scratching my back.
Helen.
They were cattle trails.
Cattle trails, right. Good. What is it, Frank?
Why did they call it the Goodnight Loving Trail?
Well, possibly because it was very romantic.
Oh, come on.
No, I'm not sure. But if you're really interested, there are a lot of good books in the library. I'll see you after class, okay?
Okay.
Now, the greatest problem with the cattle drives was that the steers lost so much weight. What do you want?
Who, me? I was just scratching.
Bernie, do you have a dog at home?
Yeah, why?
Well, it might be a good idea if you borrowed his flea collar. Well, now, anyhow, the cattlemen found that their steers could live on the plains and have the whole place to themselves until something happened. Fred.
The homesteaders moved in.
Right!
And they didn't get along with the cattlemen.
Very good. Now, anybody else? Richie.
Well, that's because the cows kept running over the farmers' crops. But the farmers eventually won.
Why?
I forget.
Come on, anybody know? What about the invention of barbed wire?
Right. Right again, Miss Johnson.
Now, even with the invention of barbed wire, the farmer's life wasn't easy. Jason, get your foot down. Jason. Now, there were droughts in the summer and storms in the winter.
Heavy teacher, huh?
And on top of that, the grasshoppers came along and ate everything in sight. Who knows?
Well, what's the verdict?
Well, she was a little nervous, but I think she'll make it.
So the government opened up the Oklahoma Territory for settlement.
And boy, was there a stampede of people.
Fantastic! Who can add to that? Richie?
Well, within a couple of hours, they grabbed almost all the land.
Right, but now why did the government open up the Oklahoma Territory?
Because the settlers needed more land.
I mean, in other words, this was a good thing?
It sure was.
Was it? Who did they take the land from? Hmm?
They took it from the Indians.
Right. Now, Frank, can you answer that? The Sioux, right. Anybody else?
It's a modern miracle. Where is she now?
I left her in class.
Mr. Kaufman! Mr. Kaufman, guess what?
You decided to become a nun.
No, I passed. Of course, I couldn't have done it without Pete and Liz. Especially Pete. Oh, no offense, Liz.
Alice, you did it all by yourself.
Yes, but I couldn't have done it without your help.
Oh, come on, Alice.
And Liz, that night at your apartment when I almost quit.
Alice, Pete, tell her.
Alice Johnson, you did it all by yourself. You, right?
Right.